Hi, I'm Piotr from CG Wisdom, your one-stop destination for software tutorials, creative design tools, and cutting-edge AI tips. In today's material, I will show you how to create the perfect sectional visualization. I will demonstrate this whole process on a small bathroom in a studio apartment, because these are the spaces we most often want to show in this way using a cross-section. What's the point? To create a visualization of the bathroom, for example, on this wall with the toilet and the mirror with the sink, I would use the camera settings and place camera. And I would probably position myself somewhere here in the corner to be able to look at the whole appropriately. But in such small rooms, it will be difficult to set the camera so that, for example, the shower cabin is not visible and at the same time the whole room seems a bit bigger. It's also not a good idea to hide these devices, because then in reflections, like in a mirror, it will be visible that there's nothing there. Therefore, it will be best to cut the whole thing and show it in a slightly more open way. To do this, I choose the cross-section plane. For me in this place, and for you, you can also look in Tools and Section Plane. I choose the appropriate plane. I can select planes using the arrow keys on the keyboard. Left arrow is the green plane, right is the red plane, up is the blue plane, red is the correct one. Red is the appropriate plane in my case, so I set it not to cut through the shower cabin. The shower cabin is the farthest to the left, the farthest forward. I click the left button to create a cross-section number 1. As you can see, a cross-section has been created, but to the other side, I can click on it, right-click, and flip. Then on the other side, I will manage to prepare it. And this is exactly the view I would like to create. I just need to set up a few things first. Firstly, I will turn off the display of the cross-section planes so that everything is a bit more visible. The second thing is to choose the appropriate view. Standard views from the left? Yes, that's right. It's about being positioned parallel to this wall. You don't have to do it that way. I just like it when it's symmetrical. Besides that, I also need to turn on the ceiling, so I go down to the tags that I have organized in this way and turn on the ceiling. As you can see, this plane at the top turns on. So I have this opening and now I'm moving to V-Ray. In V-Ray settings, I enable render output and set a slightly more vertical view. So instead of 16:9, which is a wide view, I choose custom and reverse 16:9, but in the other direction, meaning aspect height 1 and 777 after the comma, and aspect width 1. And now I'm turning on the save frame to see it nicely. As a result, I now have this type of view. The view is slightly stretched. I can change it by selecting camera and field of view. In the bottom right corner, I have a defined field of view in degrees. I choose 35 so that the view is a bit more natural, not elongated, and I zoom in just enough to not show those cutoff elements. The point is to show that this bathroom isn't really that big, while still being true to reality, but at the same time showing it as a bit larger than before. I'm setting the appropriate view. Okay, camera, 2-point perspective. I can still stretch up and down. If necessary, I make sure this composition is quite reasonable. I don't show any tiny fragments at the top. I'm getting a little closer. Something like that should be fine. If I have the view set, I save it. I select the animation view and add a scene. The created scene will be one I can always return to if needed. Nice. These settings are done, so I choose interactive rendering with these dimensions. Now let's see how it looks. Okay, after a moment I have an overview of what to expect. I see a few problems in the bathroom, or maybe I'll set it up like this. First of all, it seems to me that aside from my onstage lights, which are IES lights serving as the main fixture in the bathroom and the fixture above the sink, sunlight also reaches the bathroom. The reason is that by default, V-Ray reads this section in SketchUp as an open wall, so we simply let the sun in here. We are dealing with a completely open bathroom, as can be seen in the reflections. In the mirror, you can't see my shower cabin or washing machine at all. However, you can see the background with sunlight. What can I do to make this section look more realistic? I'm going to the Geometry tab in the V-Ray Asset Editor, and here I have a section plane that I just created. I expand, and in the options, I uncheck Affect Light. If I uncheck this, you can see it completely changes the whole lighting environment. So we no longer have light coming in from outside. The cross-section behaves as if we haven't opened this wall at all. It is also a good idea to disable the Use Object Material option. Sometimes this is the solution to issues related to incorrect cross-section geometry. But it still shows sun reflections from sunlight lighting. What can I do about it? It's enough if I select camera rays only. What should make the shower cabin appear in the mirror reflections? If you capture other elements, like the washing machine, then they should also appear here. In my case, it is the radiator and the door frame. Now it actually looks very neat. I opened up the possibility of creating a very convincing visualization of the bathroom with this nice cross-section. I'm pausing the interactive render. Everything is now clear, and I changed the settings to non-interactive, and I will set the final production render quality to high plus. I will choose slightly larger settings, 1920 by 1080, and finally I select render and wait for the final effect. Great, I have the visualization ready. It actually looks perfect. So when making a cross-section visualization, remember to disable affect light to prevent outside light from coming in, meaning the scene will behave as if the wall is not open at all. And you have to select camera rays only so that any reflections actually reflect what's in the room and not the outside surroundings again through an open wall. I hope you will now know how to make a correct section in SketchUp. And if you're interested in topics related to SketchUp and V-Ray, be sure to check out CG Wisdom, where you will find courses on these programs and many others. Sincere thanks for watching the video to the end, and I hope to hear from you.